Hi there, Matt Battiata with the Battiata Real Estate Group here in San Diego, California, with another video for home sellers. So I've been selling real estate in Southern California since 1999. I've sold everything from starter homes to multi-million dollar estates, and I've learned a few things over the years. So today we're going to talk about what to do and what not to do to prepare your home for sale. So I get these questions all the time. In fact, it's a big part of what I do when I go over to a client's home to get ready to put their home on the market. So what is worth doing and what's not worth doing to prepare your home for sale? So first off, the easiest answer is kind of the most obvious things. Paint and flooring are the biggest bang for your buck, especially paint. So, interior paint. We know that buyers today like light and bright. They do not like dark unless it's a den with lots of wood paneling and so forth. But the cheapest thing you can do to your home before you sell it, do a repaint of the entire interior if it needs it. And I can tell you when I look at your home, and a good agent can tell you when they look at your home if it does need it. You know, an outside pair of outside eyes to look at it. The same with the exterior. So here in Southern California, we have a lot of homes that are stucco. The stucco over the years cracks, it fades, and painting the exterior stucco and the trim makes a big difference. So those are the first things. Paint's a no-brainer, okay? That's number one. Second would be flooring. So if you've got carpet that's, you know, stained, faded, stretched out, carpet is a very inexpensive fix and upgrade. If you have wood floors, for example, I had a client recently that had very dark wood floors that were very in, 25 years ago when the home was built and when they put in those hardwood floors. But now everybody likes light and bright. And so instead of spending a fortune to rip the wood floors up, guess what we were able to do? We were able to get one of our contractors in there and sand the floors down and then refinish them so that they're beautiful wide plank white oak floors. Really made a huge difference on this particular home. And by the way, now, is that a little bit expensive? Sure, but what we do is we give all of our clients up to $25,000 to prepare their home for sale. We call it our concierge program. So again, if your home needs paint, if it needs carpet, if it needs floors refinished, you can do that for no money out of pocket. So those are the first things and the most obvious things. When the painters come in and paint the house, another thing you might want to consider, if you've got dark drapes, we take those down. Okay, now when you're living in the house, of course those drapes are there for a reason, this is not true with every house, but in a lot of homes, you've got dark drapes. Every buyer today likes light and bright. So in a lot of cases, we take the curtain rods and the curtains down and the drapes down. Those are worth doing. Landscaping, worth doing, right? When a buyer walks up to the front door and maybe the agent is opening the lockbox or they're knocking on the door to get in, they're looking around at what we call your curb appeal. And so it's very important. It really makes a good impression that your landscaping looks really nice. And it's so inexpensive to do. Again, we have landscapers that will come in, do the work, and you do not have to pay out of pocket to do that. So what are some other things? Now, let's talk about a kitchen. Very important room, center of the household, where everybody's going to congregate when you have guests over. Now, is it worth it to do a huge kitchen remodel? It depends on how dated the kitchen is. But in a lot of cases, there are little things that we can do to the kitchen to make it look very updated and to make the kitchen a positive and not a negative. So for example, I'll give you another story from a recent client of mine. They had dark wood cabinets. We had our painters come in and paint those dark wood cabinets white with a white lacquer finish. And so suddenly the kitchen cabinets look like what everybody wants, which are nice white and bright cabinets. And so it made the kitchen be a positive and not a negative, so that buyers don't come in and say, oh my goodness, I got to spend $50,000, $75,000 to remodel the kitchen. So again, there are little things that we can do that are worth doing. Is it worth doing a kitchen remodel or a master bath remodel? In most cases, it's not. But there are little things we can do, like painting the cabinets, like upgrading the flooring, that do make a big difference. Now let's talk about major things. So let's say you've got an older home. We talked about painting the exterior stucco. Let's say you are already aware that you need a new roof, right? That your roof is at the end of its useful life. Either we're going to end up giving the buyer a credit because they're all going to have a roofer go up and inspect the roof, and it's going to become an issue. So if your roof is not super expensive, okay, it's not a giant house, then most likely we can offer a credit to the buyer and they can do that. We can also have a roofer come in and do that before the house goes on the market. But if you don't want to deal with that, which I understand if you don't, just be prepared, we're going to have to give the buyer a credit. If your air conditioner or your furnace does not work, these are all things that we should really address before the house goes on the market. Those are worth doing. Since we're on the topic of what's worth doing and not worth doing before a house goes on the market, let's talk about staging. So now, of course, we can bring in a professional stager. In many cases, we cover the cost of that as well. But some people don't want to do that. They don't want to go through the hassle or the exercise of staging their home. We can go around, we look at homes every day, and we can go around and just move things, take things away. Usually it's just clearing things out that will make your house show a lot better. If your home is vacant, yes, we can stage it with actual furniture. We can also virtually stage it. And virtual staging has come a long, long way. If your home is vacant, we take pictures of all the rooms vacant, and then we virtually stage it. And so we can make your home look literally like a model home without having to bring in, tons of furniture and go through all the added expense. We don't charge anything for virtual staging, and it really, really does work really well. I will say that staging a home is very, very important, whether it's virtual or whether we do it in, actual, we're coming in. Usually if your home is furnished already, we can move things around and take things out to make it show better, and there's absolutely no cost to do it. And again, if the house is vacant, we would stage it virtually typically, but it's very important. Buyers buy on emotion, and we work with lots and lots of buyers. Buyers buy on emotion, and then they support their emotional decisions. They try to with logic, but the bottom line is it's an emotional purchase. The buyer that's going to spend the most amount of money for your home is not an investor. And we have other videos that we talk about selling your home to an investor. But you're always going to get the most amount of money selling your home to a regular buyer. And for them, it's going to be an emotional decision. And so when we come in, there are little things that we can do to make your house show much better. There's absolutely no cost to it. What I mean is with regard to staging. And then if there are major things like paint and carpet and flooring and landscaping, we have contractors that will come in and do that work. We'll give you up to $25,000 to prepare your home for sale. And that way you don't have to come out of pocket with anything to prepare your home for sale. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching.